Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hey guys, it's your partner Archie Luxury on the Archie Luxury channel. Today guys, I want to talk about why I hate the wristwatch market. And this is something we're talking post the peak of COVID. In this market here, there's many things I really dislike about this hobby industry, whatever you want to call it. And one of the hardest things to tell people is to give advice on how to buy a watch. What should they buy? So someone comes to me and says, "Hey Arch, what watch do you recommend?" And guess what? The big problem is I would love to say, you know what? Buy a Rolex. Buy a Rolex. Get a Rolex. Rolex would be so damn cool. And you know what the whole problem is? Let me tell you what the problem is. These Rolexes themselves they have become so damn difficult to get. I might say to someone, "Hey, get a Rolex. What do you recommend as a watch?" And I'd say, "Well, get a Rolex." But where do you get a Rolex? Because if you walk on into the AD, they're going to laugh at you. "You want a Rolex? You want a Rolex?" They're going to laugh at you. Really, really laugh at you. And I got to be totally honest with you. It's a tricky dicky situation. Rolexes themselves it's hard. So someone comes to me, I had somebody come to me and they said, "Hey Arch, I want to get a special watch. I'm getting married soon. What do you recommend?" This is a young guy, late 20s, early 30s. And it's a no-brainer. Get a Rolex. But the problem is, she, who must be obeyed, the future wife, says, "Oh, I want to get you a new Rolex. I don't want to buy you a second-hand one." They don't understand. You've got to explain that the market for Rolex is so shitty and difficult. I hate it. I hate this. See, in many ways, I wish Rolexes were at the AD. I really, really do. I wish Rolexes were at the AD and the prices were higher. I wish a watch like this sub here was, say, 30 grand, 20 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, whatever. And they were available, except they were expensive. Okay, you pay the price or you don't get the watch. That's what I would have liked to have happened, but the market doesn't work like that. You've got these bullshit games with the ADs. There's always the chance you can get one. There is always the hope you can put your name on a waiting list, and sometimes people do. You always hear about the one that someone got. They just walked in and got a Daytona. And this is the terrible thing. Rolex itself, it's incredibly difficult. The market, the way the whole world works with these things, it's not easy. It really is not easy. It is very, very difficult. And I got to be honest with you. Then you say, well, what else? Okay, Rolex is hard to get. What else is there? You know, so many of these brands, they're trying to do away with discounting. They're trying to cut out discounting. So you say, well, maybe you can't get a Rolex, let's get an Omega Speedmaster. The hot Omegas, no discount. Wait lists as well. Okay, can't get an Omega Speedmaster. Okay, and you know, then you get some idiot who says, what watch should I get? And you say an Omega Speedmaster. He goes, oh, I want an automatic. He doesn't understand the heritage of the brand. You don't want the automatic. You want the manual wind, because that's the one that went to the moon, and that's the one in the full-size case. Trying explaining this to a newbie is like pulling teeth. And this is the whole problem. It is so hard to make recommendations. They say, oh, what about a JLC? JJ LeCoute. And then, you know, man, you've got to explain to them, you've got to get a discount. And the ADs, they're all turning nasty. They don't want a discount anymore. And it's terrible, because just because you can't get Rolex doesn't mean JLC is going to hold its value better. And, you know, there's some really nasty stuff going on. Look at Cartier. Cartier's trying to, Richemont is pushing Cartier more and more up market. Cartier used to be flooded. You could get Cartier at the boutique. You could get it at the big stores like Hourglass. You could get it from Watches of Switzerland. All these dealers, multi-dealers would have it. Even duty-free would flog Cartier. And then what happens? They've pulled it out of many multi-brands. So now Cartier they're trying to force you into the boutique. Full faking retail. And then, you know, everything is just so touchy. You've got to explain it to these newbies. These newbies have no idea about what is going on here. It's getting harder and harder and harder. And I don't really like it. I don't like this at all. Hard, it's getting vicious, it's just getting mean. It's really, really mean and nasty. You can't get Cartier. Cartier is now boutique, and you've got other brands. Breitling, I mean, Breitling was dog shit. It was real. You'd never ever buy a Breitling. I remember one Breitling, I got a Super Ocean Heritage 2. The guy bought it, sold it the next day to a dealer. He halved his money. Halved his money. Now Breitling, everybody is limiting discounts, and it's in this crazy post-COVID world we're in. You know what? Someone comes to me and says, hey Arch, what do you recommend? I'd almost say don't buy a watch. Do you really want a watch? Maybe a Apple Watch is a good choice, because otherwise I got to explain it to them. And the terrible thing is, you should be able to go into a Rolex AD or dealer and pick up a bloody steel Submariner. That's right, you should be able to pick up a steel Submariner. And I gotta be honest with you, that's what should happen, but it's so hard. A Submariner, it was a good watch. You could get one. Now it's become amazingly hot. Amazingly hot. And is it worth it? Is this what you really, really want? It's a very tricky thing. It is incredibly tricky. It's incredibly tricky. And I gotta be honest with you, the whole Submariner situation it's just a classic case. You look at it, Omegas, Omega is very much, they're moving to the boutique model. You've got Cartier doing the same thing. So many brands are going this way. And these were brands you'd normally say, stay the fuck away from. I gotta be honest with you, in many ways, I think the hobby, I just cringe when people say to me, what should I get? They're an enthusiastic newbie. Ah, my God, I almost cringe because I know what the answer is. It is just so painful. It's so painful to tell them the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. And I kind of, I don't want to deliver bad news to people, but the reality is Rolex is not available. Omega is not available. The hot Rolexes aren't available. The good Omegas are retail. Breitlings, their discount is down. Tuners, you know what? Tuners, I gotta be totally honest with you. The whole AD buying experience where these ADs think they're special, you know what? I had enough. I've really had enough of it. I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of the bullshit. I really, really am sick of all this bullshit. I don't want to be surrounded by this nonsense, this lies, and people say, oh, what should I get? In my heart, I'm almost saying, don't buy a watch, get another hobby. It's because of these stupid gains. And then, you want something. What are you going to buy? Say you buy a Breitling. Are you going to really tell me that's a good... I just cringe. It makes me cringe. It makes me really cringe. And I don't want to give bad advice to people. I don't want people to get angry when they realize they've bought a dog. They've bought a dog with fleas. I don't want to say that to them. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But reality is, guys, when someone says to me, what should I get? There used to be so much choice. And then you go to the pre-owned market, it's even worse. Prices are so high. And you got to explain to newbies. I had this newbie who said, why are the second-hand Rolex prices more than retail? I don't understand. Because there's nothing available. They had the penny. They didn't even know this. And I mean, in all honesty, it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. How could it be this damn hard? Is life this hard? And in many ways there, I kind of just shake my head and said, do you really want a Rolex? Do you really want a watch? Because it's a painful hobby. Nothing's available. It's awful. And the retailers, they're smug, rubbing their hands together. They love it. Guys, I'm ArchieLuxury, your pontiff. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you in the next one. Hey guys, check out one of my best friends, Jamie Opulence, on YouTube. Just go to Jamie Opulence on YouTube. A fantastic channel from my good friend Jamie. Check it out, guys. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Guys, I want to introduce a new service to you. ValueYourWatch.com. Proud supporters of ArchieLuxury. No seller's fees, no buyer's fees. That's right, guys. This is a trading platform to buy or sell watches. You can start selling for free. That's right. We advertise our paying... For our paying subscribers on Google, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's a global platform. That's right, guys. Get $50 off the annual subscription by applying the coupon Archie when you check in there. But guys, you can try this for free straight away. Guys, you can start listing watches. ValueYourWatch.com. Give it a try and tell me what you guys think of that.
Feeling me, all these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me,
subscribe and tell your friends, and don't be afraid to get a paid review. $50 for a paid review. It helps me stay full-time on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. $50 paid review. I can't survive on Google Ads. I need your support. And guys, you could also sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay as little as $1 a month to keep me on YouTube. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.